Hello, it's Dr. Lockett here. Want to be obedient to what God has called me to. It's Talk to Me Tuesday, Health is Wealth, learning how to have our temples, being good temple stewardship. Want to talk about transforming lives. I'm Dr. Micaiah Lockett, and I am transforming lives to better health naturally, going back to the basics, without the use of excessive medication and unnecessary surgeries. So I am wanting to share today about the three things that I'm pretty much focused on in 2026 is a aligned spine, balanced body, and God's food. So today I want to talk about God's food in terms of what is the foods that we're supposed to be eating to nourish our bodies. And that would be fruits and vegetables, meats of some sorts of meats, not all meats, grains, and nuts and seeds. Those are all natural things from the earth. And that's what our temples are used to. That's what our temples are going to be responding to. Anything outside of God's food that we put on our fork or put in our bodies does not work for us. And it leads to chronic diseases and illnesses. So I just kind of want to give some encouragement to let's always think about natural if we can, staying in the outer perimeters of the grocery stores and avoiding the aisles, the center aisles as much as possible, for that is where most of the harmful or foods that our body doesn't recognize. I've seen several studies where they were showing, when you think about birds and some of the ants and bees and animals and creatures on the earth, and how if you put certain foods in front of them, they wouldn't even move toward them because they don't recognize them as food. God's food is live and living, and it actually changes and transforms each day, just as our bodies change and transform. We're cells. We're made up of natural living cells, and we change to death each day. Same with foods. They should daily decay, and that's one of the ways you know if it's a God food or not. If it doesn't change, if it doesn't transform, it sits on the shelf for weeks, it's usually because there are chemicals that keep them that way, which allows them to stay on the shelf or stay in our pantry, but not necessarily nourish our temples. So it's all about temple stewardship, for the Bible says our bodies are the temple. Do you not know that? And in that process, we have to do what God is telling us to do, which is taking care of our temples with an aligned spine. I am a chiropractor. I do adjust the spine. One of the things I'm going to share probably next week is showing how the spine has nerves that venture off. So a lot of times when people are having tingling and wrist pain and shoulder and arms, all of that could actually be coming from their neck, which goes into their arms. So the spine and the health of the spine is very imperative. The same with the lower back and sciatica. There's all connections. So we have to take care of our spine by keeping it aligned, which helps prevent arthritis. And then we have to balance our bodies, which means we have to be careful with what we put in and what we put out of our body. So example would be high blood pressure. That's usually an imbalance to the circulatory system. Somewhere there is an imbalance of too much and not enough. But the key is being able to know if my body is balanced, my systems are balanced, then my body will give me the best output. And the third thing is God's food. Aligned spine, balanced body, and God's food. Those are the three key things you want to remember in terms of health. So since I'm here, I wanted to see if there's anybody who had questions, because this is one of the reasons that I'm here, is God has put me here to be able to be a blessing and also have some information to share and help others along the way so that they can live their best health, best self, fulfilling the destiny for which He's called them to. And that has to be done with a healthy spine, a healthy body. So if there's no other questions or nothing to be said, I will be doing my part and showing here every week faithfully on Talk to Me Tuesday. Just wanted to hop on here and give a little tip about God's food, natural food, healthy food, alive and living food, which feeds an alive and living body. Talk to you soon. I'm Dr. Micaiah Lockett. I'm transforming lives to better health, and you can see on the link if you want to connect with me more. There is information on the bottom talking about how to be a part of my community, how to reach my Facebook, how to connect with me with my office, with the phone number if you want an appointment. Look forward to talking to you. See you soon. Bye-bye.